it's a bunch of other dudes they could have picked instead of Jake Fromm. But then you can tell they always look. Who the hell? Who wants to be compared to Andy Dalton? He's just like Andy Dalton. He's just like a mediocre guy. Stop it, man. He's just like an average looking man. Just like saying, she cuter than Precious. What the hell? Stop it, y'all. Another dude, the Colts, they picked Easton, wasted pick, and Joe Burrow. Look, after further review, I haven't seen enough of Joe Burrow to make a true assessment of him. So I'm not going to try to sound smart and be like the boys on ESPN and use a whole bunch of big flowery words and say, hey man, I'm smarter than you. I'm an egghead. And I'm not going to do that. Look, I'm just going to do what Mel Kiper Jr. said, a.k.a. Dracula Jr. I thought about it, man. The Cincinnati Bengals, even though they get boat raced on a regular basis, they had some of the worst seasons in the history of football. They're a snake-bitten team because they had Ken Anderson. Then they had Boomer, looks like a white supremacist assassin. Then they had the homie Jeff Blake, who used to throw the ball at the top of the TV. He used to throw it so high, but he was connected. Then they had John Kitna. These are all good to excellent quarterbacks. And then they had that bum, Carson Palmer. And then they had the Rudy I just talking about, the Red Rifle. So, and then they got some talent there. So I'm not going to write Cincinnati off. Maybe Joe Burrow is exactly what the doctor ordered. If he don't get the hidden wide open linebackers and DBs, he might be alright. I can't front be like, yeah, see, Joe Burrow is smart. And according to what this last dude said, like Stephen A. Smith, I'm not going to do that. I got a rep. People going to hold my feet to the fire. Don't nobody hold us to the fire. And when I did hold his feet to the fire, he got angry with me on Twitter. Fuck you, Stephen A. Smith. How about that? But I will say this. I ain't going to write Joe Burrow off just yet. And the worst draft, before I cut out before this break, the worst draft in the history of the draft is the Carolina Panthers, y'all. I think they let a monkey do their draft. The dudes that they was picking. How is it that you still didn't get no damn weapons and you got Teddy Ballgame out there? You don't draft no offensive people on that depleted offensive team. They need more wide receivers. They need all that stuff. See, y'all always, they drafted this dude, Jeremy Chin at SIU. You know, I fucking with Illinois schools. In Chicago, y'all already know how I go. But that was a straight reread draft. And that's it, man. That's the end of that for the draft. You know what? I got two more things coming. It's pure racism. They got Cam Newton unemployed, and I said it. Yeah, I said it. The white boys don't want the big brother to go down there, class carding their women and looking good with the beautiful smile and the handsome young brother. He might be once, but that ain't got nothing to do with it, man. Cam 5 years ago was leading MVP. He only 31 years old. The man got a cannon for arm. And they talking about they don't know if he's healthy. No, let's just say Cam Newton isn't 100%. But 80% Cam is better than 100% Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, and physically is better than Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, and the Drew Brees. His arm is stronger than all three of those. He can still run better than all three of them. So what's the problem? Stop telling this lie about COVID. Y'all don't want brothers to take over this league. Kiss my ass. I don't care. Don't listen to my show. I'm telling you how it is. This is racial. This is racist. And don't nobody on TV want to call that out. I will. Next up, the New Orleans Saints. I cannot wait for Drew Brees to get hurt this season. I'm going to say it again. I cannot wait for Drew Brees to get hurt this year. Because when Jameis Winston, with better coaching and a quarterback whisperer and a guru in his ear, guess what? He's going to take that job and not ever give it back. For those who keep talking that trash about Jameis Winston ain't this, Jameis Winston ain't that, guess what? When Drew Brees, one of the biggest hottest free agents of that season, before he went to the Saints, everybody was talking about Drew Brees. But if he's healthy, the same Drew Brees who had a toe-up shoulder, y'all don't think he can throw anymore. and the Miami Dolphins wouldn't pick him up due to that shoulder, that dude, he had a 1.5 interception ratio. Jameis has a 1.4 interception ratio. If you look at their numbers up until that point, they almost mirror each other. So y'all love a 6-foot Drew Brees versus a 6'3" stronger arm Jameis Winston. They question his work. And you heard his coach say, our strength and conditioning didn't take off until Jameis started showing up at 5 o'clock. So if Jameis can get the proper tutelage under one Sean Payton, his quarterback coach and those dudes, I'm anticipating Drew Brees getting hurt again and him taking that job. Because Drew Brees only came back because Taysom Hill is his buddy and he wanted to run Operation Cock Block on Teddy Bridgewater. He wanted his boy to get a shot. That's why his ass is going to get hurt and Jameis going to take that job and that's your ass. With that being said, brothers and sisters, it's time for a 10-minute break. I got a little funny stuff, stories from NBA legends. Holla at your boy. It's your man A-Rock. I'm going for a break for the end of the bench podcast. Holla at your boy. Keep listening. You will enjoy.
Hey, and welcome back to NBA Got Game TV. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Back in the days when there was no internet, it was almost impossible to hear stories about your favorite players. If you were lucky, there might be a feature on television once a year where you could see the players outside of the court. This is why we love to listen to guys like Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Reggie Miller, and their memories from back in the days. So in this video, we will feature some of their funniest stories from the golden age of NBA basketball, which I'm sure you NBA old school fans will really enjoy. This is a two-part video, and I can already say the last story of Charles Barkley in the second video is my favorite. But before we start, if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Really appreciate it. And without any more blah blah, let's go.
To lose, that the Sacramento Kings were going to lose that night?
No, you have a delusion that you're going to win games. But
in fact, you were 24-58.
Yeah, you have a delusion. But, Bill Russell at the time was our coach, and we had an interesting concept with me as a rookie. He said to me on the bus, he said, you're going to have to sit next to me on the bus the whole time. And I was like, I didn't want to do that. I'm like, I don't want to sit next to the coach the bus and the plane rides and everywhere. Oh, I started walking to the back, and he grabs me back. He said, young fella, you got to sit next to me. I'm like, why do I have to sit? Because he's a loser. He's a loser. And they're never going to win. So LaSalle Thompson wasn't one of the guys he pointed. He's like, you can't call these guys losers. What are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to trade him. Nobody wants him. Nobody wants him. And if you don't believe me, you can come in the office and sit with me. So Bill Russell was a very keep-it-real coach.
Were those losses tough to take?
Well, I've had a few of them. I routinely got embarrassed by guys who were a lot faster than me, for sure. But I actually had to guard Michael one night. I played in Cleveland for the Cavs for a few years and started about 20 straight games because Craig Elo was injured. And most nights it was all right. I could find somebody I could guard. But here we play the Bulls, and
most nights
I got Michael. So we start out the game. I get the first shot of the game, first possession. He closes out on me. I knock down a jumper. I'm feeling pretty good. Next couple minutes, he's just kind of dumping the ball inside. We've played 5 minutes. He hasn't scored, and I'm kind of feeling pretty good about myself. And finally, I realized, well, he hasn't even shot yet. So he was just trying to get everybody else involved. Long story short, he finished with 48, and I finished with 2. It was like, bam, all of a sudden it was like he decided, I'm gonna start scoring now, and I'm gonna guard the guy, and there was nothing I could do. Hands to come up with some good stuff. My favorite was playing with the Spurs. Played with Kevin Willis, who you guys all know, one of the great guys of all time. And he's 42 years old at the time, and we're in Chicago. We're sitting there on the bench. There's a quiet moment. Fan right behind us goes, "Hey, Willis, are you single? My grandma kind of likes you." And the whole bench burst out laughing. Kevin turns around, points to the guy, and just smiles. That's a good one.
But, you play long. I played 19 years. Oof. You come across a lot of characters.
A lot of years.
But, for me, hands down, it was Shaquille O'Neal. Most of the stories
I can vouch for that.
I can't repeat most of the stories. But, every day, I think he literally would come to practice every day thinking of how can I make everybody laugh. Mm-hmm. And
but did it actually make you laugh, or did it just make you shake your head?
A little bit of both. But Shaq, I remember one time we getting ready to play a big game against Dallas. As a matter of fact, I think it was a TNT game. We're fighting for playoff position. And after the pregame meeting, I go in the bathroom, I come out, and Gordon Gierczak is laid out on the floor. And, the trainers are, trying to wake him up, Shaq choked him out. 18 minutes on the clock, we're getting ready to go out to play, and Shaq, put him in the sleeper hold because he was talking too much. He was talking trash to Shaq. So Shaq...
That's one funny
he's not here to defend himself, Shaq. But it was
bully.
G-Hill, I told him don't mess with me, G-Hill. I told him.
This is post-Michael Jordan retirement the first time, and we're playing Chicago Bulls, and we have a pretty good team. They have a decent team, but they're not the Chicago Bulls of old with Michael Jordan. Game is coming down on the wire. Steve is in the game. He's guarding me. I come off a screen. I hit a jump shot right in his face. There's a second left. I run to the center court. I'm like, I'm going to stomp on Michael Jordan. He's not around. I'm the new face of shooting guards in the league. So I bow, half court, to the crowd in Chicago Stadium. Everyone's booing. Phil calls a timeout. There's a second left. We're up by 2. Scotty's taking the ball out, gets the ball to Tony Kukoc, who just turns around, and I just so happened to be underneath when he was taking the shot, and I could just see the ball traveling in the air as it's going through, as the Bulls win with the clock running off. And who's the first person to run up to me and bow right at me is little Steve Kerr. Right up to me bowing. You talk about wanting to
You and Michael.
It was Steve Kerr running up to me bowing.
So what would you hear from Michael?
Everything. From Michael, one time I know he started counting backwards. He said something like 38, and I didn't get it, Reggie. You know what I mean? And he started saying 36. I said, wait a minute. So he going backwards. And now if he get to 0, he got 40. But it was me and Michael had a lot of talks. So.
One is George Mirasan. George Mirasan, man, he's the best. But, he used the bathroom before the games. So George had everybody scared to use the bathroom because he was 7'6" and could look over the stall. So he be looking at you like, what are you doing? Like, man, come on, George. Or you just feel like water dripping.
Webb, that's not funny.
No, it's not. But you feel like water dripping and he's just holding the ice cube. So think about it. If he's holding the ice cube, when did the ice cube start melting? Has he been here watching me 10 minutes? So it was George Mirasan, but with him.
The last part about it is, in practice, Coach Russell really didn't run practice that much. So he would let Willis Reed run the practices. So he would read the paper. He was kind of like Bear Bryant. So he's sitting down, he's reading the paper, and all of a sudden I look over and you see him sleeping in practice. So he kind of stumbles and everyone laughs. And he's like, everybody out of practice. If y'all wasn't so damn boring, I wouldn't be sleeping here. But you was out of practice for us being boring.
Ken Norman.
Yeah.
Ken Norman.
Snake. The snake. He ain't seen funny. Different funny. Okay.
So I'll give you 2 of them. Our general manager, Pete Babcock, wore some bad shoes. So he used to always say, Pete Babcock, do those come in leather? And Pete would say, not leather. And we bust out laughing.
I love that.
And then the last time, Lenny wasn't playing him. We were playing the Chicago Bulls. And being him from Chicago,
right,
he used to go, ooh, Michael Jordan's going to be jumping high. And I got the best seat spinning. Ooh, Lenny. And if you want to see what Lenny broke the record, all-time win.
I know where you're going.
Cheesing with Lenny. Ken Norman by far. He used to always say, Smitty. George, go to George. I talked to Juanita. He gonna get 50.
Well done. I just,
I know it's sushi.
Whatever.
Steve.
Yeah, sushi. No, I was like Kenny. I just, pasta, chicken.